Hey, Hugh Taylor here, and today we're going to talk about cryptocurrency press releases, one of my favorite subjects. And I know that if you're involved in cryptocurrency, you're really going a mile a minute. You got no time to spare, so I'm going to keep it real quick. 3 things you need to know about getting your press release and getting your news out into the world with your cryptocurrency. And just real quick, those tips are: try to have a differentiated story, know how press releases get into Yahoo Finance and MarketWatch, and know the difference between press release syndication and media coverage. Okay, so tip number 1, try to have a differentiated story. I cannot emphasize this enough because, as you might imagine, reporters who cover cryptocurrencies are inundated with press releases. Every day they are getting hundreds of news announcements from cryptocurrency ventures, and they're only interested in writing about stories that are interesting. They don't want to talk about, another token that's come out. They don't care. And honestly, why would anybody care? So let me just show you some examples of what I'm talking about from work that we've done at Comms Factory. So our approach is, let's try and find the interesting story that you want to tell about your cryptocurrency venture. Now, by the way, this gets at an interesting strategic issue that has nothing to do with public relations, but which public relations can expose as a problem in your business. If you have nothing special to say, if you're not differentiated, you're going to have a business problem, and you'll have a public relations problem, because selling a reporter on your story is not that different from selling a customer, selling a buyer of your cryptocurrency. So if you don't have anything special to say to the press, you don't have anything special to say to buyers, and that's going to be a problem. Now, I can't solve your business problem, but I'm just making you aware of this. I may suggest you go back to the drawing board. Now, maybe the process means you have to find the interesting story about your currency. You probably have one. So here's an example of a press release we did. So Affinity Innovations releases new token and Web W3 exchange. So the announcing new token is, pretty generic news. A lot of people are announcing new tokens, but they're also announcing an exchange. So that's something a little different, a little something special. Maybe a reporter would notice this. The subtitle here, "The company seeks to bring the crypto community together and provide innovative products," is another process of communicating something special. Just as so you understand, this press release we distributed on a service called EIN Presswire, which syndicates your news onto about 150 news sites, mostly radio stations and TV stations. This is good for search engines. It is not, and I like to be really upfront and transparent with people, it is not going to get you in front of cryptocurrency reporters. I mean, they may see the news feed, but it is not a primary outlet for them. It is helpful, though, if you want to show that your news has been featured on like a Fox television station or something. Here's another example. Shaman King Inu releases new play-to-earn crypto token. Now, I'll just give you a little aside here. These play-to-earn crypto tokens can be a little dicey with distribution. Some distributors will not take news like this because they consider it similar to gambling, which is a category they do not allow on their press release distribution networks. So just be aware of that. You may have to change the way you're messaging the press release. But this is announcing the new play-to-earn token. The key word here is new. Okay, I like to say the word new is in news. You have to have something new to say about your cryptocurrency. The thing that's special here is about the way the game is played. Okay, the high-definition multiplayer Mortal Kombat style game, NFTs, metaverse, cryptocurrency swap. These are innovations that this token is offering to buyers and players. You want to emphasize those kind of things. Here's another one. Fukawa relaunches improved cryptocurrency trading platform. Now here, this crypto press release has to do with the trading platform. It's not just like, oh, it's just another currency launching, not another coin offering. This is about a platform, okay? And so already you're a little bit differentiated, but they're going to further differentiate it by say the platform has increased security. Okay, it's a big hook. Now reporters might want to write about cryptocurrency security. Okay, and they're also talking about releasing a token along with the platform. Here's Smart Finance announces launch of ICO for new cryptocurrency platform based on AI and machine learning. Now here's another differentiation. So based on machine learning and artificial intelligence, that's a differentiator. Now, maybe they're not the only platform doing this in the whole world, but it is a little hook that could grab a reporter's interest because, and this is an important thing to understand, reporters are doing stories every day. So maybe today someone's writing about artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency. So you're going to connect with that reporter if this is your news. And then they further differentiate through neural networks. This is another differentiator. So it's having something to talk about beyond just like, here, pay attention to us because we're launching a token. Second tip, know how press releases get onto Yahoo Finance and MarketWatch. Okay, this is a very, very common question I get asked with my business comms factory. And I want to talk about this, and I'm just got to find the right page here. Sorry. Okay, so if you go to Yahoo Finance, I want to point out something very important. Virtually all the news on Yahoo Finance comes from somewhere else. Okay. As far as I know, and I don't know everything, but I've been doing this a while, and I've been around certainly for the last year or two with crypto, you cannot submit your press release directly to Yahoo Finance. They pull feeds from other sources. So if you look at Yahoo Finance, for example, there's one from CoinDesk. There's 3 from CoinDesk. Here's Bloomberg. Here's one from MarketWatch. You see that? Here's one from Benzinga. So Yahoo Finance pulls press releases from other news sources. Now, there are 2 basic ways to get into these feeds that go into Yahoo Finance. One is through a press release distribution service. There are several that feed into Yahoo Finance. The 2 biggest ones are PR Newswire, which is part of Cision, which is a massive sort of industry standard press release distribution service, and Globe Newswire, which is another major worldwide press release syndication service. If you want to get your press release into Yahoo Finance, my suggestion is that you work with these 2 distributors directly. They're not cheap. They're between $500 and $1,000 to do the distribution that will get you into Yahoo Finance. Okay, now maybe that's a lot of money, maybe it's not, but if you don't do that, you're going to have a hard time getting to Yahoo Finance. Now, the other way to get into Yahoo Finance, which brings me to my third point, is that you need to know the difference between press release syndication and media coverage. So what does this mean? Media coverage is a situation where a reporter, like someone at CoinDesk, actually writes an article about you, okay? Or mentions you in an article. That's another way to think about it. This is a very important distinction to make. Services like PR Newswire are syndication. They take your press release and they electronically blast it out to thousands of publications, including Yahoo Finance. And those publications may pick it up and put it in their newsfeed, or they may not. But it's an automatic process. There might be an editor involved who's picking the press releases that get picked up, but usually it's just sort of mechanically taking your press release and publishing it on their site. Okay. And those press releases constitute like a news feed. You've seen these, like, on Yahoo Finance, like a feed, like endless press releases coming every hour of the day, like streaming past you, like a ticker almost. Okay, that's great, but the difference is nobody's really talking about you. If you can get a reporter interested, then they're going to write an article that features you or mentions you. And that is, if you're looking for the kind of validation that comes from being in the news, that's a lot better. It's also quite a lot harder to achieve. but there are ways to do it. Okay, and as we've seen, if you can get featured in a site like CoinDesk, you might get picked up into Yahoo News or MarketWatch or other important services. So here's CoinDesk. It's just to use for one example. And this is an example of how you can do this yourself. We can help you do it too. But so what CoinDesk has done, for example, is they've tried to make it easier to contact their reporters. So here's an article. I just picked it because I want to talk about how to hook into a trend. So this is an article. Bitcoin stalls below 40,000. Analysts point to risks in DeFi. Okay. So if you want to, let's say that your currency or your platform or your news has to do with risks in DeFi, well, maybe you'd want to talk to the people who wrote this article because maybe they'll write another article about risks in DeFi, or this is sort of their zone of coverage. So who wrote this article? Dominic Dantes and Angelique Chen. Now, if you want to talk to Angelique Chen, her email is linked to this article. You can actually see it. You see how it lights up at the bottom of the screen there? It's angelique.chen@coindesk.com. So you can actually send her your press release. Now, here's the thing. That's great. Isn't that great? You can just send your press release directly to this reporter. That's the good news. Now, the bad news is everybody can do that, and everybody does do it. And Angelique Chen, this poor woman, is going to get inundated, just bombarded with press releases all day long. And she's probably going to ignore 99% of them. And she might actually get irritated if you're sending her something that's not interesting. So you have to devise an interesting story. Now, I can help you do that. We help people do this all the time. Coming up with an interesting, what we call media pitch, a little email to accompany your press release that sort of hooks the reporter into you. Also may present you personally as an expert source for this reporter. They're always looking for interesting people to talk to for perspectives on cryptocurrency markets. You can see that when you read articles. There's people quoted in the articles, who are talking about cryptocurrency. There's also, just as you know, CoinDesk has tried to make it easier to contact them. They also have this news@coindesk.com. You can always send your press release to them, and that's for free. Just get the press release, send it to them, okay? Maybe they'll pick it up, maybe they won't. Just remember the rules. They're looking for something that's interesting. Another alternative, which we can do for you or other services can do for you, is to use a journalist database like MuckRack. So here's MuckRack, for example. It's a database of about 250,000 reporters worldwide. They have 55 contacts at CoinDesk. So if I say, let's say I want to talk to Zach Stewart, the managing editor at CoinDesk, I can get his email address and I can send him my news. And there's other people, Tracy Wang, Emily Parker, all these people. Now, here's the thing. You have to kind of know who you're talking to. So if Emily Parker, for example, doesn't write about, tokens, she only writes about Bitcoin or whatever, don't bother her. She's just going to get irritated at you. Anyway, so those are some of the ideas that I will hope will give you some perspective into how to get your cryptocurrency news published in the press or to the sites that you want. We're available to help you with this. You can click at the link below. We can learn more. Love to talk to you about it. If we can help, we will help. Thanks and good luck.